Well, speaking about missing some figures here, CJ Abrams
Oh,
is sent to single A after staying at a casino till 8 a.m. the next morning, and they had a game at 1:25 that afternoon. So he it'll cost him about $30,000 in pay. But yeah, he was sent to the minor league complex at West Palm Beach in Florida to finish off the season. It won't affect his first time arbitration Super 2 player because he's played in too many games, 172 games. So it doesn't affect anything arbitration wise. But this couldn't have been the first time he did something like this, right? I mean, this had to have been like, hey, dude, this is strike 2 or strike 3. Like, we've warned you now that this is right.
I
Maybe.
guess we now know where Ipe ended up. He's with the Nationals, hanging out with Abrams.
So I was thinking a similar type thing. Like when I saw it break, was it Saturday? That came out.
Something like
Excuse me. I remember thinking like, there's got to be a little more to this. Maybe not that like it's happened to like this degree before, but like, who knows? I mean, it just could be like serial, like late for team meetings or like, holding up the team plane. Like it just could be like just this kind of serial situation of just like putting himself before the team. I don't know, but because I mean, it seemed like if it's a one-time thing like this late in the that seems a bit drastic. Like logically, you think like this. Something else is kind of going on there. I have no idea, but it's just a thought.
So
but granted, it is only a week left of baseball. We're only a week away from the playoffs. So I mean, really, it's only like what, a 4 or 5 game suspension, like team suspension.
Yeah, but
basically.
So I mean, it just said, but you got to set the. I mean,
that's something a big message.
Oh no, I get it.
But, right, and if this is a kid that you want to be part of the club moving forward and a piece of the club, a centerpiece, like this is a message of like this is not acceptable.
Right.
Like we can't have this. Like we need to be able to rely on our guys, and if you're one of our guys, we have to be able to rely on you.
Yeah. So I want to say it was the Washington Post had written about this, and the thinking was because Dave Roberts, wrong Dave, his comment was the fact that it wasn't based on performance. Like this was strictly a disciplinary thing, which maybe that's how they're spinning it. But the Washington Post had talked a little bit about the fact that when you look at the split of Abrams, he had a great first half. He's been hitting 203 in the second half. And the Nationals were asking him to get in there for extra BP and be a leader and show these guys that when we struggle, we dig in. And then he was at a craps table or whatever, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. And they're like, dude, you can't do this. Like, you can't have a crappy second half and then mail it in at the end. That's the wrong tone, the wrong message. You're now one of our most visible players and becoming a leader. So we got to make a statement in kind to what you did. So goodbye. You're going to the minors, and we're going to make it hurt, and we're going to embarrass you a little bit to get our point across that this isn't what we do here.
And I think that's what makes me think that it's not the first time it's happened, because you usually deal with that stuff in-house and it doesn't get out. Right. And this somehow everybody knows about this. Like that tells me that this isn't the first time he's done it. It wouldn't make sense for me if it was like a one slip up and we're just going to embarrass the crap out of you type situation.
I mean, hell, Mo Vaughn rolled a Hummer, came out of the Foxy Lady and played the next day. So stuff happens. But this was definitely the team sending a message to a young player of, if you're going to be our leader, you're going to commit. You're going to put in the extra effort. You're going to be that guy. And we're going to remind you of the fact that we expect that of you.
Yeah, I mean, particularly if that report from the Washington reporters is true too. Like if he's skidding down the whole second half and they're asking him to put in some extra work and be a leader. The team approaches you to say, hey man, like we look at you as a leader. We know you're a young guy, but like, we look at you as a leader of this franchise. We need you to dig in. And then the opposite happens.
And then you go do that.
I think, I think you don't have much of a choice if you're the organization.
Yeah.
You lose face with that entire franchise if you let this kid do that, and and nothing happens.
Yeah, because that's an aggressive message to send, of sending your all-star to the minor leagues the last week and a half of the season. Like that's not like a kangaroo court fine in the clubhouse because you're screwed off. Like we're telling the world we're pissed at you.
Yeah,
and
this
we want everybody to know.
Yeah, this screams to me that they had a sit-down meeting face to face, and you're like, "Hey, dude, do not blow through curfew again, ever again." And then boom,
Yeah.
stays out till 8
Yeah.
a.m. And it's like, okay, well, you clearly don't care. We're sending you to Florida. I mean, that's what this screams to me.
When your top guy's in the casino till 8 o'clock in the morning at the end of the season because he's mailing it in, it's not a good look.
Yeah.